going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Smoke and Mirrors Podcast. I'm Nick, and this is
Zach.
Well,
and Tristan.
Oh, yeah, and we got Tristan here. Yeah, we got Tristan over here. He's off camera, but it'll be all right. So, man, I hope y'all been good. Guys, if you don't mind, share us out. Get us out there. Push our Spotify. Push our YouTube. We would really, really appreciate it. Hit that like button. Subscribe for us. It'd be a tremendous honor if you could. So, anyways, today...
I mean, but even if you don't, comment and tell us why you're not.
Yeah, let us know what we're doing wrong.
I mean, it'd be good to hear some feedback either way. So we've had a couple people.
Criticism's always a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're new to this shit. We don't know anything about this.
Right, you can tell.
As we go, I mean, we're making gains, but you know, we're working through the things we got to work through. I mean,
yep.
I've seen worse than what we got going on right now. So
yeah,
I mean,
we started.
Everybody's got a podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're just having fun.
So, the headline: students are playing a dangerous game according to police. Wait till y'all see what this dangerous game is. And I can see where it'd be dangerous in some cases. So police are concerned about a growing trend inside some schools involving a game called Senior Assassination, where students reportedly separate into teams and shoot each other with water guns that resemble real firearms. According to police, teams are assigned targets to eliminate each week. They say the assassination game is likely to occur outside school hours and that videos of the hits are then posted in social media. It says they say the assassinations are likely to occur outside school hours. Okay, so that means not at school. Police added that some cases have been reported of teenagers dressing in dark clothing and sneaking through resident areas as part of the game. Police say this behavior could easily be perceived, reported, and confronted as suspicious behavior by unknown persons, and the outcome could have serious consequences. According to police, mimicking behaviors associated with criminal, confrontational, or violent behavior with a weapon could be perceived to be a life-threatening situation and result in unwanted or catastrophic outcome.
Wow.
I know, that's a whole lot.
All right. Well, I mean, no, that's just bullshit.
But this is our news, man.
I know, man, but I thought, fuck, I'm going to have something here. That article title had me really, wet in the mouth, fuck yeah, we're going to talk about this shit. And then you said, literally kids can't play with water guns outside of school is what you're saying?
Man, didn't you know they outlawed finger pistols a long time ago?
Dude,
so this is serious shit, right?
No, that's serious though. That is a problem. You can't make this a thing. This can't be an issue. Now, if you're sneaking into bushes and shit and jumping out at people and fucking pointing guns at people that you don't know or fucking...
That kind of sounds like that's what they doing a little bit.
Okay, but if you're
playing airsoft
if you're 8 years old, you're not getting shot. You know what I'm saying? If you're 19 and you're wearing a hoodie and you run up on a bitch in the dark alley and their dad shoots your ass for fucking thinks you're gonna get robbed, then that's something.
Problem, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's also okay, see, and I know this is gonna hurt, so some viewers may get turned off, but fuck it.
Fuck it.
Right? The reality of this to me is those people should not be on the planet. If you're a dumbass and you're gonna run up on Nick in the dark alley to shoot Tristan with a water gun that looks like a real gun, try to scare the shit out of people, what length is it, right? And I used you. I mean, it was probably a bad example because Nick's less likely to pull his gun out and shoot the fucking kid and then ask what's going on, right? Where some other people would just be like, oh shit, fuck, this guy's got a gun, let me shoot him.
Yep.
So that part I get is from the cops.
Training.
They're not. I mean, the cops did have a reason to say, "Hey guys, you guys are being stupid. Stop doing that."
Yeah.
Because one of the cops might shoot one of you kids, and then we're gonna riot in the streets again.
Well, yeah. Look at the killer clown incidents we had, where everybody was dressing up as killer clowns and popping out and scaring people. It took 2 people dying for it to actually be an issue.
Right. For the trend.
How long? I mean, they're jumping on it now, but at the same time, how realistic are they making water guns? What is the point of a realistic water gun?
I'll show you real quick, and I'll make sure I have the picture up on the video for y'all right about now.
Yeah, but I mean, dude,
See,
First off, that
why
is
even
it.
make
That does
Yeah.
kind of do. You
That-
can make a
it
real
does
look
look
like
real.
it looks
It looks
real.
absolutely real. But why even make that? Like,
That's what I don't understand. But you know what? I got airsoft guns that look like the real thing too, and I know why they look real because it's camouflaged and it works in the woods when you're playing
Well,
airsoft.
I mean, it's
so
almost as
it sucks,
effective.
but it's like people got to
I mean,
be
it's almost
responsible
as
about what they're
effective.
doing.
Right. No, I mean, like, you get shot with a BB gun enough times, you might stop doing some shit too. Like, you
Look.
know what I'm saying? But it just depends. What I'm saying, though, is I agree in a sense. In another sense, this is another one of those scenarios of, look at this over here. We're going to take this away because we don't think you should be able to even play in the streets. Like, we can't play cops and robbers, dude.
Right.
You're taking away cops and robbers.
That's what they doing, man. They took that away years ago. You can't be
Bro,
pointing finger
fuck
pencil
that,
finger
dude.
guns
Dude.
at people.
Finger gun isn't even cops and robbers. When you play cops and robbers when you were a kid, you played with a finger gun. You had your toy guns. One of you was fucking the robber.
Yeah, when we were kids.
And you
Yeah.
fucking
We
you
used paintball
you
guns.
traded off. One day, maybe 1 hour, you were a fucking robber, and the next day the other dude was the cop. And the cop always roughed the robber up at the end. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. But you're going to tell me that we can't act those things through anymore, but we can put our 8-year-old son in a dress, and that's okay. Let's let him do that. And we had a
Yeah.
whole show on it, so I'm
Yep.
saying to anybody, if they really want to step to me, I'm not a homophobe. I'm not against anybody
No.
who chooses those things.
I don't
I'm
care about any
saying,
of that.
how can you say that an 8-year-old can dress as a girl, and that's okay as a society, but it's not okay to play in the outside with your friends with water guns or whatever you choose.
Yeah.
Because if it's not a water gun, it's a bomb. I'll tell you what, my parents, when I was growing up, refused. They would not allow their children to have any type of toy gun at all whatsoever. Okay? They didn't want it. They didn't want it in our house. They didn't want shit to do with it.
At all.
Well, I took 2 sticks and some tape and made a fucking gun out in the, and we ran around playing cops and robbers. So what I'm saying is some cases the parents may have some control over that with their kids. In other cases, it's like, dude, what, you got drive-by super soakered by some friend of yours at 17? Like we had floats we built in school, and then we would have a night where right before homecoming, everybody would have to protect their float, or else another class would come in and fuck your shit up.
Right.
Now you spent like a month and a half, 2 months building this thing out of paper mache. You have no time to fix it. You're barely even done with it the night of.
Yeah.
Right? And somebody's gonna come try. So people are out there with like paintball guns, and like we're hiding in the woods waiting on these other kids to show
But
up and
that's
shit.
what it used to be.
And it's like, okay, so that was fine, right? That's fine.
Not now.
Yeah, but we can't even use water guns now.
Now you can't. No, you
Hey,
can't.
come on, man. We were shooting with paintball, bro. Like, people were going home welted up, their cars
Bro,
ruined.
Everybody is
Like,
a winner.
you know what I mean? Yeah, well, I mean, I also agree that bullying is not good for any person. However,
not.
however,
Ever.
I know a lot of bullies in my adult life that have been effective at managing and other things in their life. So I'm not saying that there's not a place in the world for people who are assholes.
Right.
Okay, because all of us actually probably have been one or
Yes.
maybe this week, maybe today, maybe
Sometimes
we'll be one
we just
later.
have a
Who
bad
knows?
day and we say the wrong thing.
Yeah. So
That
I mean,
sucks.
but honestly, dude, I think on that subject, really,
But bro, finger pistols, cap guns, like you can't be doing that no more.
man, just tell the fucking cops that every gun is a water gun until they have another reason to prove it otherwise.
Yeah, but they can't do that because there's real killers out there, man.
Yeah, but what percent, dude? What percent?
Oh, I mean,
What percent do you think it is that a real fucking scumbag killer is gonna kill a cop before
I
the
think it's
cop
pretty
gets some
high,
shots
but
off?
I really
of 'em?
don't know what they. I don't know that answer.
I mean, in that case, I would say most gangbangers, right, live on that line. And to be
Yeah.
honest with you, I mean, I
And
don't.
if you're a police officer in that area, you're
The
that
youth
chance
is the scary part, right? The kids who are like before 26 or so are probably the most likely to shoot someone and not understand repercussions for it,
Yeah.
right? So
I
that
agree
side I
with
can
that.
see is shaky, but however, like you're there to protect and serve your community, so you should know the gangbangers in your community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
understand that. I
But we don't do
completely
that. We don't have
understand
beat cops and shit like that. They don't come by and like wellness check the neighborhoods and talk to people like humans. They
No,
just
They don't.
pull
They
you
leave
over.
stickers and say, "Hey, you have
Yeah.
your basketball goal on the street."
Yeah, they're stopping all the people who are on drugs or driving illegally or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Glorified homeowners.
Now there are some there are some horrible moments that the police are needed for. They're trained for and all this good shit. I just
I
think
don't
we
know
got to
if
do
they're
a better
trained for it,
job.
man. I wouldn't go that far.
No, they are trained to do a lot of things that,
Yeah,
that
they're
normal
pretty poorly
civilians
trained,
don't.
man. Well, one thing they need to be trained about is constitutional rights. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Well, 100%.
There is entire look. I understand. You can sit here and tell me it's not that huge of a percentage. There is a camera everywhere now, and the amount of videos that I have seen, and none of them are the same ones I've seen before. They're all different occasions, and it's still happening on a repeated basis of cops doing messed up shit and breaking people's citizens' rights, and they know they are, and it's just like the person's literally reading to them the law that they're breaking at the moment. They're like, "Oh, I'm big, bad, and tough, and all this," and then it's just like.
That's the
stop.
side. There's too much
That's
ego
not right,
and other
man.
shit that's
how
involved
How
with
are we
it.
supposed to support you if you're not going to honor the oath you took? That's my thing. I didn't take the oath to the Constitution to be a plumber, okay? But you did to be a cop. So
Well, the constitutional oath is you saying that you're going to protect the Constitution above all else.
Yeah, because it's always their orders. Oh, I was ordered to do this. Well, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah,
You're
but
still
I mean
supposed to
that's
hold to your oath.
there's a
Like,
fine
do you-
line
like-
there.
like,
though.
where
no,
does your
I mean,
conscience lie?
I guess that depends, right?
Like
because
now, here's my thing.
because
now, if you're an officer and you feel like man, I can't just not do the order. The order I was given from my higher ups because I respect them like that, but I can't do this because I don't feel morally right. Like at that point, you as an officer should understand it's time to step down then. And speak. You can speak up or whatever, but you need to step down if you can't do the right thing because you don't want to hurt this other person. It's not, dude. The oath is the oath. It's pretty well blatant, and they are blatantly breaking this on a regular basis, and there is video proof to it.
Yeah,
back to back to back to back.
But when you say that, you mean like they'll tell people to do things that they don't have any right to tell them.
Dude,
like, hey, get out of here. You don't belong here. You're not allowed to be filming here. And they're like, yeah, I'm on public property. I can film here. That type of stuff.
There'll be a guy sitting on the side of the road just minding his own business, like waiting on a phone call or something in his car. Who gives a shit what he's there, like waiting on or whatever?
Right.
And they'll just come up and he's like, man, am I able to go? Like, I'm trying to go on my way. And all of a sudden they're like, no, I pulled you over. Like, what are you talking about? I've been sitting here for what? And it's like, and then they give him some bullshit reason. Yeah. Like, it's just not right, man. Like, what the hell? Like, why are you messing with everybody? Oh, you don't understand where I work. I work in a bad area. It don't matter, man. Like, you still got to.
Well, yeah, I mean, people still have their rights.
And that's, I don't know.
Well, I mean, they're in the business of taking your rights away, so why wouldn't they trample on them?
But
every
they swore an oath not to do that shit.
That's the business they're in, though.
They swore an oath not
I mean,
to do
listen,
that shit.
I
how can we be okay with that as citizens? They're supposed to be the badge that we're supposed to just respect and understand that they know what's best. Well, if they're being unconstitutional, they obviously don't know what's best.
But see, okay, so there's the line, right? Like, okay, yeah, when they're unconstitutional, they can be proven, right? Then they get in trouble.
Here's a perfect example.
But if you
I have a perfect example of this. We're in the middle of what I've talked about with you on a few occasions, the brace thing that's going on.
Yeah.
With AR pistols and AK pistols, right? The brace, okay? A little strap that goes around your wrist so you can shoot it one-handed and be more steady with it.
Yep.
So this thing is not going to look. They're talking about it in the House and all that. I think it's the House, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. And they're talking about it in the House and all this, and they're beating down on the ATF director. But like, even if they do pass a bill there and they pass it in the Senate, Biden's the one that asked the ATF to do it. It's not going to get passed. But here's the thing: at that moment, okay, that means that goes into law. If you're an officer and you did not feel like that was constitutional, what the ATF did in your heart, in your private heart, okay. Then if you can't like make an oath, like, no, dude, I swore an oath to the Constitution.
Right.
Like, if I feel like this is unconstitutional and I know what the fuck that thing reads and says,
right.
Okay, and I know what they just did and all this time, you know all the facts because you're in a lot of cops are into guns and all this stuff. Then you in your heart should not honor like officer's discretion, right? I mean, I understand that that's more to landing shit.
All right, well, wait a minute. See, so I would take a different perspective of that because what you're saying is if you can't abide by your oath, then maybe you shouldn't be in that job.
And
I'm
what
saying-
is the Constitution if
I'm
it doesn't
saying
mean
if you-
something to us personally?
Wait a minute. If you recognize that that's an unconstitutional law,
Yes.
Right?
Well, it's not even law.
okay, well, rule,
It's an
policy,
interpretation that's been
whatever,
changed multiple
whatever
times
it
over 12
happens
years.
to, whatever it happens to be that the police officer at the police officer level has to care about that.
Yep.
Right.
And no.
No, but what I'm
Every
saying is this.
officer.
But
This
here's what
should
I'm
be
trying to say,
ATF,
Nick.
This should be FBI.
But this is what I'm
every
saying,
one of
though.
them.
This is what I'm saying. So you don't fix a problem, right? You can't fix the police from the outside of the police and say I quit because I had a moral core that did not allow me to do that and do anything to impact that organization. So I would say stick it out, right? And then try to move yourself up and advance and take those positions because there's no other way. The only way to do it is to take the people out of power that think it's okay to do so.
Yeah.
And that basically doesn't end up with the police officer as much as it ends up with us as a collective voting the right people into office or out of office, I guess, however you see your vote. But one
True.
way or another, it's one or the other.
You know, speaking of vote in office, out of office, that brings up another topic. And you know what? We do a reality around here and not feelings and trying to just have one person's back or anything. So,
Yeah.
let's move on to Trump.
Oh, yeah, this is always, it's always newsworthy. He's a funny
Okay,
guy, this
so
guy, dude. He's always
NBC
in the news.
Trump is found guilty, or no, Trump found liable for sexually abusing and defaming E. Jean Carroll in civil trial and is ordered to pay $5 million. In New York, a jury found former President Donald Trump liable Tuesday for sexually abusing writer E. Jean Carroll in a Manhattan department store in the 1990s, but not liable for her alleged rape. The jury awarded her $5 million in damages for her battery and defamation claims. Asked in its verdict sheet whether Carroll, 79, was proven to be a preponderance of the evidence that Mr. Trump raped Miss Carroll, the 9-person jury checked the box that said no. Asked whether Carroll had proven to by a preponderance of evidence that Trump sexually abused Miss Carroll, the jury checked the box that said yes. Both allegations were elements of Carroll's battery claim. The six men and 3 women also found Trump had defamed Carroll by calling her claims a hoax and a con job. The jury deliberated for only about 3 hours and awarded Carroll just over $2 million in battery claims and just under $3 million in defamation claims.
Well, damn, she's hooked
Yeah.
the fuck up. That was a good payday.
Yeah, that was a good payday, and that don't look good on you, Trump, man. I'm
I
just being
should
honest.
have camera my ass just for a minute.
Yeah, whatever. It is what it is.
All right, so fucking Trump is guilty, so to speak, of assaulting her, I guess, but they said no to the
rape.
rape they couldn't prove.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, it's 20 years after the fact, right? So, you know.
I don't understand why it took so long to come to this point. It's kind of weird to me, but you know.
Well, it was
hey.
some special law, I guess, provision that allowed for that to happen because they had a right to
Okay.
sue, even though the statute of limitation was run out on the ability to actually like go after him for rape. So
Okay.
she waited too long, right?
Yep.
And that does bring that conspiracy to it. Like, well, why'd you wait? It's just like with Cosby, right? It was like, why'd you wait so long if that really happened to you? And then
Right.
900 women came out after Cosby, right? It wasn't 900. It was
And
probably
then
like
he got
6.
released. He got
Yeah, because on a technicality, they let him out.
Oh, was it? Mm-hmm. It was just a like a little technicality.
It was a technicality. Yeah. But,
Oh, shit.
I mean, you know, it's about Bill Cosby, too, so they kind of...
Well, Trump, the hits just keep
That's
on
terrible.
coming.
Well,
It's always
I mean,
around.
I'm personally still rooting for you because I hate DeSantis, and that's like the next one that I'd vote for. So, but
Well, I
I
mean,
don't
he-
even like him, so I'm like, I don't really want that. That becomes like,
Trump...
dude, I really
Trump
wish
doesn't
it was
even
just
give a fuck.
someone that was just new and fresh. And I know a lot of people are going to say DeSantis to me on that side of knowing how I vote right this second at the moment. But I just.
I want to know who out there saw Obama coming.
Huh?
I want to know.
That's what I'm saying, man.
When Obama showed up, it was like, who the fuck is
it
this
was
guy?
Dude, it was fresh.
Where
it
did
was
he come
different,
from? And then you hear him talk,
well-spoken,
and you're like,
man.
holy cow, dude, this guy can give
Yeah.
a speech like JFK. But where'd he come from?
Was careful with his words.
I mean, where'd he come from?
No, I mean, I like that
Like
about
nobody
Trump,
saw
but I'm
him.
like-
Nobody saw him as the front runner. Nobody even knew who he was until all of a sudden he was the guy.
Yep.
So what I'm saying in that is, I gotta hold out hope that maybe
Oh, I
that
get
person
that.
you're looking
I
for
do
just hasn't
understand
even
that.
actually surfaced.
It's a long ways, man. It's a
Right,
long
because you hear
ways.
the loudest mouth, right?
Yeah.
The loudest people are the ones you hear first, and then maybe the party has some sense of,
Yeah.
right, rebound here, and we can kind of get back to some of the
Dude,
better
what I
conversations
really
in our
want is
government.
A badass libertarian to come up and just destroy them both, like anyone that's in either Republican.
Well, I mean,
or
anybody, I'll
Democrats.
tell you right now, anybody out there
Like-
wanting to run got a better chance of winning
Look,
if you
man.
just legalize weed, for Christ's sakes.
For all I give a shit,
Let's get the tax dollars
one
and
party
fucking
have
make
the
them
House,
goddamn-
one party have the Senate, and give the Libertarians the White House, and let's split this bitch up 3 ways.
Well, I mean, I
So when it comes down to a law getting passed, it's the middle guy.
I know, man, but and ultimately, I think there is no difference. So
Yeah, you're probably
the
right.
agenda is the
It's all-
agenda. It
yes.
has nothing to do with the parties, but
And
they
the
just
rich
push their
are
agenda to
powerful.
us as far as like what they think we care about. But there's definitely other stuff amiss there. I mean, look, whether you like Trump, you don't like Trump, whatever, right? Donald Trump stayed in the news
I
his
think he's
entire
slick,
life.
man. I just think he's slick.
Well, look,
And I, think, and
either
I
he
did pretty
is-
good when he was in
either
the White
he
House.
legitimately is like the
I
Antichrist.
do know that there's fucked up shit about him that does not.
Well, wait a
look
minute.
good.
He is either the Antichrist, right? Like, if you really
No,
took. Wait
that
a minute.
was fucking
Hold
Hillary,
on.
bro.
Wait a second. Oh, but how? How could it be Hillary?
It's
She
just
has
a
no
joke,
power.
man.
dude. I'm just saying she has no power, right? But if you took all the shit that this guy has done, right, and you put it on any one of our resumes, we had to answer to this background check.
Yeah.
All the lawsuits, all of this, all of that this guy has had to like endure into his entire life, not just since being president, by the way. So I don't want you to think he's gone just into the court system because he was president. He was fucking like, there was only 9 lawyers who wanted to work with him before he became president, let alone now that he was president and everything else, right? That he's had to really stretch to get this representation for himself because he's got a lot of things in his closet.
Yeah.
I mean, his lawyer that he felt like he just left him to dry, right? Because he really didn't have no choice if any of that stuff that guy said was true. He had to leave him out to dry because he couldn't like go take care of pardoning him while he's running his mouth. You see what I'm saying?
Know is what we looking at right this second.
Yeah.
Like all we see, and I know it ain't nothing because we ain't got close enough yet. I get that, trust me, I understand that, but it don't look good.
Well, I mean, I truly don't care either way. I mean,
I do,
we're
'cause
gonna
I'm-
get our choice one way or another. When that comes up, I'll go out and vote for him, whomever that is, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I know that
Yeah.
both of them are old as shit.
That's true.
So what? Trump now is young because he's
No,
the same age
he's
Biden
4
was
years
before
older.
he fucking got into office,
He's
and they
gonna be
called him an
4
old
years older.
decrepit guy who shouldn't be there. You see what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. Like, give me a break. So it's all just the misconceptions. It's just like saying,
Yep.
let's do an
You're
assault
right.
rifle ban. Let's ban all assault rifles, guys. AKs, get this shit, and we don't need them. Nobody needs them. And I get that side of the argument, dude, but I also equally understand the other side of the argument, which is 0.06% of all gun deaths in America were caused by a assault rifle. So if you really want to stop the gun crime, you have to get rid of the pistol.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get rid of the pistol yet, right? But you do want to get rid of the assault rifle because it's the easy one to not have a rebuttal to. And in reality, all you're saying is we want to take a little bit of your right away, not all of it. And it's a right. It doesn't specify what type of arms I can have, but
No.
it's a right. And I got guns, and I got swords, and I don't think the government should fucking with them. Because if they do, the reason we all have them will come to fruition.
Man,
and
I
that
don't want
scares me
that.
more.
That scares the shit
That
out of
scares me
me.
more than World War III or a conversation
don't-
about all this other bullshit.
Look, in my head, I feel like that's where it's headed.
Because if that happens,
Okay.
then it's an
That's
an
my head.
uprising,
That's
and
where
now
I
we
feel
no
like
longer
it's-
are a.
And I don't even know. I think the governments are going to do something that's horrible. And it's going to be more of apocalypse than it is a damn like Civil War thing. But it's hard to tell. They're pushing on so many different things. It's like, what are you doing? And I don't understand. Actually, I really feel like people are seeing that they're like that the news has been playing us. I think that everyone is kind of woken up to that, and I think that that is a great thing for all of us. But now we have AI, and I'm not trying to get into that conversation.
Well, I mean, AI
I'm
just
not
changed the
trying-
game,
I
didn't
know,
it?
but it changed the game
It
because
did.
of manipulation of video and audio and
Yeah,
all
but
this
no, but I
stuff.
mean, really, did it change the game, or can we all just wake
Well,
up? Can we all just wake
if we
up to the
stop being
fact that
messed
that's
up
the way it's always
individuals-
been? No,
Yeah.
it's always been fake, Nick.
Oh, yeah, you're
Anchor
right.
Guy is a whole fucking. There's 2 whole movies that were just a complete joke about how news and newscasters are.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying that's a bad profession or that they're lying about everything. It's not like that, right? But they are giving us entertaining stories, right?
yeah.
And that's it. So it's entertainment. So it's all been bullshit anyway. So now you can't tell anymore if it's me talking or if it's this guy talking or if it's another guy talking, and we just look like some other famous person or some other celebrity or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, like 5 years ago, fucking Facebook, you go on Facebook and you would see that like Johnny Depp died today. And you're like, no shit. You're fucking like, dude, did you
And
see
it was
this shit?
bullshit,
And it's
then
like,
you got-
oh, it's all bullshit.
Yeah, it's a lie.
And everybody's like, oh, look at this. We should ban this. We should take this off
Yeah.
of this or that. And it's like, no, all of it is bullshit.
And that shit's still
Just
going
admit
on,
and
man.
understand that we're watching TV. It's a television station.
Yes.
Like, you really, truly believe, okay, so you think that, like,
We've turned ourselves into the TV. Look at us.
so I
Like,
guess
we weren't-
Transformers and
like-
shit just happened before I was alive. Like, that stuff's real, right? Or it happens later and they just given us an example of what's going to come later. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Everything you watch on TV is true? None of it is true.
No,
Even the commercials are full of shit.
they're all being manipulated in some
Most
way.
commercials these days are pharmaceutical commercials.
Right.
Most of them. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny.
And they wonder why we just like turn our attention.
But I mean,
like,
really,
over
dude,
it.
who are you selling drugs to? You're a pharmaceutical company, and your job is you're going to put it on the TV. I can't go to the pharmacist and be like, "Yo, dude, I want Adderall, and I want this drug. I seen it on TV. You give me that drug instead." No, they're going to be like, you got to go to your doctor. So these are now sending us to our doctors, and we're going to the doctor like, hey, give me this. I need this drug. I've seen it on TV. I know it's going to work for me. The
Right.
doctor's like, dude, now what do I do? They got WebMD. Now they got damn commercials are running about how this shit fixes this, but they didn't listen to the 4 pages of side
The shit
effects.
that fucks
Yeah,
you
like,
up.
you know,
Yes.
okay, then they're in here next week like, I have explosive diarrhea. And you're like, well, no shit. You told me to give you this medicine. I told you not to fucking do, dude. But
Cat
the TV
Williams
told
said
you.
some shit like fucking, oh, it'll get rid of your heartburn, but you'll be standing like a flamingo from
Yeah.
now on. Like, I was like,
Well, we're believing it, man. It's true, dude. I've seen it on TV. I know it's true. MSNBC, they don't lie to you.
Yeah, why
CNN,
would
they
they
don't
lie
lie
to
to
you?
you. Fox
Fox, they
News
don't
is
lie to you.
100% right. Like, the fuck are you talking about, dude? You listen to 90, like talk radio stations and fucking, and it's like, if you can't hear the propaganda, then we got to have another discussion
Yeah, we
about
gotta
what
have to
you're
talk.
listening to.
If you don't
because it's like,
understand-
it's so clear how like, these people are so freaking strong about their view. They're so strong about their view.
anchors, too.
Yeah,
Like,
no, that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
That the
like-
way it comes across and the way it's presented is like, this is the truth. And if you watch some of these people, like, you can't help but go, yeah, you know what? That shit sounds about that is a right. That
Yep.
could be right. Maybe that is right. And it's like, yeah, it's right, dude. That's right, but that's his opinion. And what's yours?
Right.
Well, it's his. Whatever he said, I agree. Tucker Carlson's right. I believe him. Like, okay. Yeah. So Dominion is a fucking piece of shit. Okay. Nobody wants to do anything on it. Nobody wants. I got video proof. No, you don't.
There is a lot of video.
Yeah, that's a fuck. Okay, the FBI
But-
did a
but-
whole
but
thing
that's
where
just a
during
ballot
the
stuffing. That's a
during the
ballot
Boston
stuffing.
bomber, they were searching for these bombers and asked the people at the thing to send video in and pictures so they could try to see what they could find, and people are deep faking those and sending them to the FBI. And the FBI's like, hey, this is Photoshop.
So
this
it
is
go-
Photoshop.
It goes back
this
to
is
the
Photoshop.
AI problem I just brought up, but we good on that.
Yeah, but I mean, what does that mean though? Is what I'm saying. Like, AI is not the problem. It's,
It's
society.
not people
it's
are
us.
the problem. Society is people.
Yeah, how do we fix us?
Yeah,
Right. We kill corporate greed somehow. How do you kill corporate greed?
I don't know. We're gonna have to look that up. How?
No, I mean, we're built on a cooperation. You can't. Our corporations run our country.
Because we work off of convenience, so the corporations
Corporations-
own all the convenient shit.
Well, I mean, we buy their shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause this
fucking goddamn big business. Let's go to Walmart.
right.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Exactly. I know. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's a good spot, man.
So,
Well, guys, hope y'all enjoyed it, man. And until next time.
peace.